Thank you, Spencer. Coming up to the...
And the composer is Marvin Hamlisch, who wrote the music for a chorus line, and later they're playing our song. It's about 16 teenage girls who are competing for the title Young American Miss. Our story is about what it takes to get a show to Broadway. It begins in the rehearsal hall almost exactly 1 year ago. It's been 6 years since Marvin Hamlisch's last hit on Broadway, in a business where you're only as good as your last hit.
You never connect those two notes with anything.
It's now November 1985. He's already spent 3 years just trying to get Smile this far, and still doesn't know if he's going to make it all the way.
Bam, right. And what I have writing is, I guess it's called Pride. This show sings. This is a musical. This is begging to be a musical. If we don't do it right, we made a mistake.
Oh, I know you're going to say the trees are paper mache. It's done with mirrors, the magic there.
Marvin Hamlisch's collaborator, Howard Ashman, can afford a mistake even less than Hamlisch. He's the lyricist, writer, and the director of Smile, and though he's had a hit musical off-Broadway, this is his first and maybe his only shot at the big time.
People having careers like mine just don't get to do this very often, and it's a gift to be able to do it.
Nobody knows that better than the cast of Smile, particularly two of the leads, blonde 24-year-old Jodi Benson and 18-year-old Anne-Marie Bobby. They are counting on Smile to launch their careers.
Do it for me.
So here we are, November 1985. It's taken Smile 3 months of rehearsal, called a workshop, and $250,000 to get ready for its first make-or-break test just a month away. A backers audition in which Smile will have to convince the hard-nosed money men that it deserves the $4 million it will need to keep going.
I think it's going well. I think it's going, the bottom line is I think it's going well.
We are absolutely, as far as I'm concerned, on target where we have to be now. And what we have to do, we know exactly what we have to do between now and December 11th.
December 11th, the backers audition. Everybody's here, including record company magnate and producer David Geffen. Sidney Schlenker, a rich Texan, the owner of the Denver Nuggets, and representatives from the Schubert Organization, Broadway's most powerful producers. These are the people who put up the original $250,000 for the workshop. The question is, will they come up with the rest of the money, or does the curtain go down on Smile right here? The answer? It was nearly a disaster. David Geffen looked, listened, and decided to drop. So did the Schubert Organization, whose 16 theaters house some of the most successful shows on Broadway. The Schubert Organization's decision to drop Smile was doubly difficult for Marvin Hamlisch. After all, as the composer of a chorus line, Broadway's longest-running musical ever, he'd helped make millions of dollars for the Schuberts. They wouldn't talk with us on the record. Hamlisch was outspoken, as always.
You know what hurt the most? What hurt the most for me was that I wanted to get a vote of confidence. I wanted to hear people say, look, it's not right, but you know this kid has had 2 shows that have done very well. He's had the chorus line, I mean, not alone, but I mean, he wrote the music for that. Let's go with his track record. You know, that kid has come through for us before. He'll come through. So, well, you know, when you have a $4 million riding, there aren't too many people who get that vote of confidence anymore.
So, was it all over for Smile? Not quite.
I love it. I love it. There's some things that need to be done, but the creative people know that and they'll do it.
Sidney Schlenker, that well-heeled Texas entrepreneur, comes to the rescue. He guarantees $2.5 million. His co-producer will be insurance agent Richard Kagan, who agrees to try to raise $1.5 million more.
Why do it? Why take this kind of risk?
You're correct. It's a very high risk. but the fun that goes along with it beats the devil out of government bonds, and if it works, it's a big winner, and if it doesn't, I'll go back to work a little harder.
Well, mine's real easy because 22 years ago, I met a friend by the name of Marvin Hamlisch, who's my best friend, godfather of my children, and he asked me in February, along with Sydney, if I'd come in and help. So it was simple. I did it for a friend.
Spring 1986. Marvin Hamlisch and 5 kids from the chorus go on the road to help Richard Kagan raise money for Smile. They perform the show for potential backers, friends and clients of Kagan, who are invited to invest $25,000 and up, with a chance at making back 10 times that amount if the show's a huge hit. It works. Kagan brings in the $1.5 million he promised. What you're seeing now is that same road show performed in New York last June for a different but equally crucial audience. These people buy the large blocks of tickets charities use for theater parties.
The music, the young girls, it's exciting.
Stimulating, very stimulating, interesting.
It's what I've been looking for to sell to my kids.
It's got possibilities.
Cute. But at $47.50 for an orchestra seat, cute may not be good enough. It's now August. Hamlisch and Ashman have spent the winter rewriting the show.
Back home in Waco, Texas, I was voted Miss Teenage Complexion. It was run by this horny old skin doctor, 25 girls for his private inspection.
Smile's next big hurdle is only 5 weeks away, out-of-town tryouts in Baltimore.
Walk around yourself.
It's going to be make or break time again. If the show bombs, it probably won't go on to Broadway. The pressure is on to fix what isn't working, and the biggest thing that hasn't been working is the end of the first act.
As that curtain came down at the end of Act 1, what we wanted people to think about is, what's going to happen tomorrow? That tomorrow's the pageant, and we wanted to expand the scope to understand where everybody was thinking, what everyone was thinking as they go to sleep that night.
And the end of the first act is crucial?
I think so, yes, absolutely.
So you really want to go for the bang?
You want to go for the bang, and you want to get a lot of tension. So we were out in Long Island, I was sitting around, I said, can't we just do something that's got, and I just started. It was literally one of these things where I was...
To build up tension?
Yeah, like this, and it started. Well, here it goes, the tension mounts, my cool is draining out my eyes, because this is the part where it starts to get strange here. I'm so strung out, I'm so done in, I hope it won't affect my sin. Think I can deal, because I feel a real change here. What do they want from me, and how can I be it? Or if I am it, can I get them to see it?
I need a show, I need a music, someone get me out of here. It's all too much of so and so. I've lost my equilibrium. I feel so bad, I feel so dumb. I need to know the end will come in sight. It will tomorrow night. Oh God, it will all right.
And so, on to Baltimore, where Smile's about to get its first test before a paying audience. And after all the months of wondering and all the rewrites, Marvin Hamlisch and Howard Ashman will finally get a chance to see how it plays before heading on to Broadway 7 weeks from now.
This is a tense time.
Oh, geez, yes. At least we're all in it together. You know?
That's what makes it so
It
hard.
makes it much less of a grueling experience because all of us are there and we all feel very close to each other. And part of that's due to the year that we've spent with each other.
I got involved with 2 men that I think are very, very talented. And every now and then, somebody has got to believe that and stand up and take a shot with somebody. Instead of taking the safe route of filling my theater with a proven show from London. I happen to think that Broadway theater is the only music that is really part of America and solely American.
Okay, right now, tonight, give me the odds. Now, tonight, give me the odds that you're writing a hit to Broadway.
Oh, God. Oh, God, I feel like a critic.
I know. I would have to say, in a scale of 10, maybe, I'd give us an 8.5.
Okay. Miss Bobby, what do you think?
I'd give us an 8.
I've got $500,000 more in it than I'd like to. And a fella called yesterday and he said, look, I'm willing to do it, but I want some extra points to put in the money. And I said, thank you, no. So I guess it tells you that I think the odds today are better than even money.
Is it a hit?
Who knows?
Opening night in Baltimore. Hamlisch and his producers are waiting for the television reviews.
The music is so very good that it deserves a better subject matter. But what it does very, very well.
It's good. The show's good.
And the reviews? I mean, what do you think of this round, based on what you've felt before?
I want to see the print. I also want to see the print. And I also know, I think I know enough to know that we're here for specific reasons. And I think it's just going to be fine.
At the cast party, the first of those all-important print reviews has just come in. A rave can propel them to Broadway. A pan could mean closing in Baltimore. Producer Richard Kagan read them the news.
This light, bright, all-American musical is fresh, simple, and direct. It knows where it's going, it goes there, and it takes the audience with it. The central character is Doria Hudson, Miss Yuba City, a mixture of vivaciousness and poignancy, played by Jodi Benson. Her roommate is played by Anne Marie Bobby, with wide eyes and few well-placed tremors. Smile has already won the regional finals. It is ready to compete in the big league on Broadway.
It's now been 7 weeks since this opening night in Baltimore, where Smile passed its out-of-town test and began its final push. Not that all the reviews were glowing, they weren't, and the show has been revised yet again. But finally, the 4-year odyssey is ending. Smile has made it to Broadway. Will Smile be a hit? Tomorrow night, the show finds out. A week from tonight, we'll let you know.